Let me drag that over. Chat, let me see. Is the mic working? It is! Is Deepwoken still hard? I mean, hard enough. I don't know. Uncle, do you think dye packets are gonna get fixed anytime soon? Fuck no. Bug fix during deep healing? Why the fuck would they do that? What? What? Fuck no. They're not doing shit. Just pack it up, all of us. Yes, every single one of us is going to go play CG. We are all playing cursed gear. So just get that out of your system now. We're going to CG. Deep healing still going on. It's March. I have no idea what's happening anymore. Chud Sahor, bro. I'm def moving to CG, bro. Everybody is. Who's not? Show of hands in the chat. Everybody put your hands up right now in your room if you're moving to CG. Can we get a yes or a no in the chat? Aga dropping March update. You haven't tested at all? I couldn't tell you if I was. Also, I think that's the worst fucking, like... I do not like the monthly update method. I do not think that's a good idea. I think having monthly updates is the most, like, even bi-weekly. I think that's the most moronic shit that they've ever come up with. And for the most part, the devs would agree with me. The game has been out for 5 fucking years, and only since December did they decide, yeah, we're gonna do weekly, or bi-weekly, we're gonna do monthly. Only recently have they decided that, and I don't think it's because they actually agree with it. I think it's out of necessity, that they don't have enough people to make the fucking system work anymore. I think that's my fucking fan theory, right? It's a film theory. No, weekly updates, it doesn't have to be something insane, but weekly updates kept people engaged and excited about Deepwoken. It kept the combat fresh. It kept the bug fixes at least to somewhat of a minimum before they really let the standards go. I think all monthly updates, bi-weekly, I think all that does is it gives them some sort of subconscious permission to be lazy. That is my personal opinion. Right? I feel like I have the need to specify now, since I'm in like an official role. This is my DanVR opinion as an individual player and as a content creator. I'm not a spokesman for the developers. I think all of the monthly and bi-weekly did was give them the permission to be lazy that they were looking for. Because they had swore up and down for years and years and years, no, weekly is the proper format. And they gave it, which is correct, and they would tell you it keeps people engaged, it keeps the game fresh, it keeps the bug fixes to a minimum, it gives little supplementary content people can play with before we drop like bigger updates in the background. And then randomly they just said, actually, we don't like monthlies anymore. Yeah, you didn't do that because you like fucking, an angel came down and gave you revelation. No, you got fucking lazy and you realized that you could just not work on the game. Like, bro. It's been almost 2 weeks since we've gotten an update. It'll be 2 weeks this coming Wednesday since we got an update. Chad, do you think anything of, like, significant value is going to be coming out? Like, what are you guys excited for? Oh, wait. Who knows? Who fucking knows? Bug fixes? Well, the game's still buggy. And actually, the balancing kind of feels terrible. And it's in this really weird cycle where the balancing, instead of being semi-consistent and having strong things kind of kept in check every week, instead, bi-weekly, or in this case, monthly, the balancing just gets completely flipped on its head in a massive upheaval, which feels worse than Friday. People would say, like, oh, my build's going to get nerfed every Friday. Well, now you're in a situation where the meta just becomes like super stagnant and boring and unhealthy. And then randomly they drop an update that completely just flips it on its head. Which feels even worse. That doesn't feel good. We don't even know when the update drops. Shit, I don't either. Is this going to be another monthly update? I don't know. What I do know, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. So it's one of those things where it's like, what do you guys feel like is good for a monthly update? The last like big update where they like reworked world events and the Lost Forge, that was a monthly update. Show of hands in the chat. Do you guys think that that was an appropriate amount of content for waiting a whole month? Do you guys think that that was an appropriate amount of like bug fix balance content? Sorta. Okay. Because that was the first one, so it was kind of like, okay, so we have mixed feelings. We have mixed feelings, but roughly positive, right? Because, like, I see, like, decently, meh, kinda. That's a positive connotation. Okay. So it was close. I actually think that, like, second deep healing with the world events and all that, I think that was a really good update. More could have been added. Well, you know. Busy on curse gear. Not actually, but kind of. Not for real, but for real. You know what I mean, right? If we're, if the boot fits, if we're allowed to speak truthfully and not live in a delusion. They should have made a Gladiator world event. I mean, there will probably be more world events in the future. It's just, do I not have the spear on this? Oh, Lord. What? I've farmed Kyrsan. Oh, right. I was using the bone charm. Duh. Okay. Let me go get that. Let me go get that. That would not hurt to have, right? What the fuck happened to Conquest? Dude, Conquest has been scrapped for like a year. A year plus, bro. Conquest has not been a thought in their fucking heads for a long time. No way we're still talking about Conquest. It should have never been a thought. I agree. I was very vocal about that, but I mean, like, what the fuck do I know, right? I've only been shockingly accurate in my predictions for the game and how I think things will play out. I've only been incredibly accurate. It's not because it's not hard at all to just get a pulse on how the community feels and be like, huh. Literally nobody wants that, and it sounds like an incredibly difficult technical development process. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that, right? It doesn't take a fucking mathematician to figure that one out. My fucking decrepit 12-year-old golden retriever could have told you the same fucking thing, that Conquest was a bad idea. My fucking dead grandparents, all four of them, could have took one look at a YouTube video and said, oh yeah, no, that's a bad idea. But what do you think on the Worm Cave macro? I think it's cool. I think the Worm Cave macro... Oh my god. I have to, like, word this right, because I know how, like, it's going to get clipped out of context. I like Worm Cave, bro. Worm Cave's a homie. And I think that macro is incredibly impressive. It's super cool. It also kind of, like, borders on exploiting. It's not exploiting, but the amount of shit you can do, it's kind of like, oh my god, like it plays the game for you. But also, like, for whatever reason, the devs just, like, they kind of, like, let macroing happen. They're fine with macroing, so it's one of those things where, like, it's probably not going anywhere, you know? At most, they'll make, like, a Band-Aid, like, rule fix where it's like, hey, sharing macro information's now bannable. But how the fuck do you prove that? He sent me a macro. I mean, he deleted the message, but, like, he totally sent it to me. There's no real way to prove that. Like, the only real solution is to outright ban macros, and I just don't see them doing that, because what about it is exploiting, like, the features? It just kind of plays the game for you. Like, it roll parries for you, it feint parries. Like, every high-level tech that, like, the Godseekers spend hours and hours mastering, that they still sometimes mess up on, the macro can just do for you perfectly every time. Whisk has roll parry. It's literally that. You say it's literally that. Like, those techs are not the main thing that defines, like, who's a good player and who's a bad player. Yeah, bro, it just takes all of the hardest, most technical abilities in the game and does it for you perfectly every time without any significant input. Yeah, bro. It's like saying a self-driving car doesn't really do anything, right? It just drives the car. Uh-huh. I think it's a fire-ass macro. I think it's also really, really, really powerful. And it kind of compromises the competitive integrity of the game. People shit on Rogue for that, right? Where Rogue, ultimately, at like the high level, came down to whose macro was better. And now Deepwoken's sort of like, well, who has the Worm Cave macro and who doesn't? You know? Is that a game that we want to play? Is that a game that we want to experience? It's a great time to quit Deepwoken. Hey, bro, it might be. Is this it? Is this the end of Deepwoken? We've been LARPing about this for years and years. Like, this will kill Deepwoken. And it was a lot less dramatic. I guess, instead of, like, the super duper update that everybody hated killing the game, it was just, the devs just didn't care anymore, and they just let it kind of shrivel into oblivion. Is that tough? Wait. You look like a golden retriever yourself. Thank you. It's like the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. Oh my god. I mean, like, the devs are excited for Layer 3. That's cool. That's something, right? When we get that. Whenever we get that, I guess. Like... When do you think Layer 3 will be released? I don't know. I don't know. If Layer 3 comes out next September, like you're saying, you might as well just quit the game now. If Layer 3 is coming out next September, I don't see Deepwoken lasting that long, bro. Like, yeah, dude, the game saving update, it'll be next September. Just wait. Doesn't deal damage? Oh boy. Oh boy. We need a few things here. I need, like, temporal cruxes. I need those things, because I'm going to be The point of us farming right now is I'm trying to do some crafting recipes, so we're gonna need to get that stuff, you know? They buff Wormtooth. Dragon King, you're the strongest LARPer. This is I think this is reminiscent in some ways of how people felt about Deepwoken during the Verse 1 Dark Ages, where, like, everybody was just kind of, like, waiting. Like, people were really doomer about the future. The future was bleak, and that was all anybody could say, where it's like, oh, well, Layer 2 will save us, bro. Layer 2 will save everything. And it's kind of, we've kind of circled back, you know, history repeats itself. Where now we are back at that same spot where it's like, oh, okay, well, Layer 3 will save us, bro. Layer 3 is going to be the future of Deep, bro. I'm from the future. The game dies. Yeah, I think there's two kinds of people. There's like there's the camp of people who think that cursed gear is like not that big a deal and it's not going to affect Deepwoken. And then there's the other camp of people, the one that I'm like kind of residing in, that's really doomer about it, and it's like, okay, cursed gear, like it's going to slaughter Deepwoken. Deep is dead. CG is taking over. The devs abandoned Deepwoken. I try to stay positive about it, but I know, bro. I know. I'm not so naive that I would trust Raguzer saying, yeah, they won't affect each other at all. Yeah, I've heard that one before. Heard that when I was playing Rogue. Hey, don't worry, Deepwoken won't get in the way of anything. And then it did. The same way, like, and Rogue won't get in the way of anything, and then it did, you know? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. What makes you think that, though? CG's already been confirmed to have a separate dev team to Deepwoken. That was a white lie. That Raguzer did not lie. He also didn't tell the truth. Like, they have a separate team. Yeah, sure, bro. Let's pop this out, man. Okay. Here is the CG team. And then here is the Deep team. Okay. So we'll fucking do like this. We'll make it like a Venn diagram. That was a white lie. Okay? So CG has people who only work on CG. And Deepwoken has people who only work on Deepwoken. The main difference is the star players for both. So like Rag, K1, and Lime. The difference is the main people who like really oversee the project and make it what it is have started on Deep, and then they've jumped over. And then you've got a few people here that kind of sit in the middle, like they do some work on both. Yes, there are two separate teams, but at the same time, there are two separate teams because the main Deepwoken developers went over there. Like, it's not a lie. There are two separate teams. That is not a lie. It's damn sure not the truth either. It is somewhere in the middle. Look at it this way. They're going to tell you CG has two separate teams. Chat, we're going to do a thought experiment, okay? We are going to do a thought experiment, chat. I want you guys to sit up straight, put on your thinking caps. They have two separate teams, right? Do we all agree? Can we see some yeses in chat? We agree that they have two separate teams according to the statements that they have given, right? That's correct? Okay. Now I want you to riddle me this. If K1, Lime, and Raguzer started on Deepwoken, and now they are making cursed gear, what team do they belong to? Are those two separate teams? What do they primarily work on? How do you decide what game gets what attention? Riddle me that. What team do they belong to? And if they jump back and forth, how do you decide what you're working on when? Are you going to work on Curse Gear right now, have it go live, and then abandon Curse Gear to get on Deepwoken? Well, now you're just doing the same thing, but in reverse. That's not very intuitive. You know, it's... Oh, yeah. Like, bro. The Cursed Gear and Deepwoken team are separate development teams under Nomad Studios. The games will not interfere with each other's update schedules. Cursed Gear existing already pushed back Deepwoken's development cycle. We'd be on fucking layer 5, probably. Like... It already did push back Deepwoken's development. And now, if you bring that up with some of the developers, they will make the argument that they were burnt out on Deepwoken, and even if Cursed Gear wasn't a thing, they wouldn't have been making content otherwise because they needed a break. And that is a valid argument to make. That I can actually... If you tell me, you know, Cursed Gear had no negative effects on Deepwoken, which some of the fucking... I got into a fight with some people, or like not a fight, but we butted heads a little bit in Tester where they said no. Cursed Gear had no negative effects on Deepwoken, which was just them rage baiting. No, that's not you're not a serious person. I rebuke that argument. Now, if you tell me, look, man, like I put years into Deepwoken, I was burnt out, I was gonna work on something else. If CG didn't exist, I still would not have been making deep content. That is a reasonable argument, and I can say, you know what? That's a good point. You know, I wish Deepwoken was more than it was, but it is your game, and I can't fault you. Everybody needs a break sometimes. Instead, they like fucking LARP. No, CG had no negative effects on Deepwoken. In fact, a lot of good things came from CG, and that's not like a total lie. Some good things came from Cursed Gear, like the new movement system. That was inspired by Cursed. But, like, bro... Oh, you know what? We can find another example. I was going to say, I messed up there. Let's look at the fucking, We're going back to the argument. We're talking about, like, who would you consider part of the Deepwoken team? Who would you consider part of the Cursed Gear team? Let's jump into Dev Corner with Agamatsu. One team for CG, one for Deep. The one for CG is smaller and it's mostly devs who didn't work on Deep. Oh, like Rag and K1 and Lime and Par, guys who never worked on Deepwoken. I just listed 4 of our main developers who, they put a lot of time into CG. I guess they don't fucking count though, huh? We're just leaving them out of the equation. There are guys I want to steal for the big layer 3. RJ, for example, made Drifter. That's another question you can ask. RJ made a single memento in a game mode that nobody plays. Would you say that he's a Deepwoken developer or a Cursed Gear developer? This is like the MoMAD special. This is genuinely the MoMAD classic. It's like, dude, why do you feel the need to just lie to our faces? It's just never ending. Now, I understand, like, if you want to go work on a different game, at the end of the day, bro, it is totally in the developers, like, it is their right. If they want to never work on Deepwoken again, that is their right. They've worked on it for years. We can be disappointed about that, right? We can be upset, but that is their right. And they can do that if they want to. It's kind of, it is what it is. The pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness is JJK. The movement is shit, Dan. I don't know why you're acting like OCG brought a nice update like movement. That is what the developers will tell you. They will tell you that good things from CG ended up making their way into Deepwoken. Like, we should be grateful that they gave scraps. Here you go, little piggy. Oink, oink. Here's some half-eaten food in your pig trough. Say thank you. Oh, thank God. Lock it on the puzzle. I know, I'm trying, bro. Yep, half-digested slop that they dumped into the fucking pig trough. Here you go. Be grateful. At least you got something. Yeah, bro. Sure. As you can see, I'm very doomer about CG releasing. I'm very doomer about it. You missed a dono? Oh, shit. Let's scroll up. Dan, hey Dan, wondering how you feel about Merrill-made boots since it's a suggestion I made. Got into the game. I like the design a lot. I'm fucking wearing them. They're stitched. I like them. I think it's like a unique little. It's a unique like weapon class or update where we could have like specific pieces of armor that can give you special abilities and shit at the cost of survivability or stats. I think that's cool. I like that quite a bit. Also, thank you for the 5. I do think they look drip the fuck out, too. Bro, we need more drip in the game. We need some goddamn drip in the Deepwoken world, bro. If I was to make... if I would make a PvP build, should I use volcanic glass or steam? Steam. If you know how to combo, if you're tough with the combos, make it steam. Like, fuck, Ice Lance into Rising... Or, like, Rising into Crystal Impale or some bullshit. You get mad steam procs because they're kind of stuck in place. Very, very effective. It's very nice. But, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, bro, where, I am very doomer. I am very, very doomer about CG and the future of Deepwoken. And in my opinion, it's because I know better, right? I know better than to just mindlessly believe that, oh yeah, it'll all be great and nothing will go wrong. We've heard that story before. We've heard that story before, right? And it gets to a point where you gotta say, you know what? I don't believe you. You know? You know what? I don't fucking believe you. I also think that the way that we look at cursed gear and talk about cursed gear is fundamentally different. When I bring this up with other content creators, or I'm bringing it up now, I see people in chat saying, I don't think it's going to kill Deepwoken. I don't think Deepwoken players will like this. If it wasn't already obvious, Deepwoken players are not their primary concern. Let's say that not a single person on Deepwoken likes cursed gear. Not a single player from Deepwoken says, you know what? CG looks fun. I'm just going to play that now. Let's say that doesn't happen at all. Not a single person jumps over. What do you do, though, if CG is successful in the wider Roblox market? Because it is going to be free to play, so it's going to appeal to a massive group of people. What do you do when it's really successful and it makes a lot of money and those developers just never come back? What do you do when CG becomes one of the most popular games on the platform and it's making money hand over fist and it needs to be updated and they have all these cool ideas because it's fresh and it's fun and they can take it any direction they want? What do you do then when the developers don't come back? I mean, legitimate question. What do you do when the game is successful and it's fresh and it's new and it's fun? We can really do anything we want. We can take this game any direction we want. What do you do when the devs don't come back for Layer 3 because they're too busy making curse gear? What do you do? And they said they won't do that, but they also said that they would never, they also said curse gear would never be public. And they said that they'd stop working on it until Conquest was done. And yeah, they promised us those things. Did those things happen? Obviously not, because Curse Gear is about to be public. probably next fucking week, I think. Yeah, next week. And it's going to be free to play. And Conquest got scrapped for parts. So are you going to put... are we really believing this? That's also the misconception that it's like, oh, it's just a JJK slop game. It's really not. It's inspired by JJK, but it's not like Sorcery or any of these other games, which is going to actually make it to appeal to a wider market. There are a lot of anime games on Roblox, but that's not all of the games. Not everybody likes playing anime games, and Cursed Gear is somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to actually appeal to a wider market than people believe. And there are people who are going to tell you that, like, oh, like, CG's going to fail. It's not ready to release. It's like buggy. It's kind of, it's inconsistent. And then I remind you, what MOMAD game hasn't been inconsistent and buggy and released before it's ready? When has MOMAD ever released a game on time, fully optimized, ready to go? Literally never! Rogue wasn't ready to be public, or Rogue wasn't ready, it was anyways. Deepwoken wasn't ready to come out, it did anyways. Oh, CG's gonna flop, it's not ready to come out. None of their games are ever ready to come out, and then they do anyways, and it's a smash hit, because they make really good games, and then they spend that first year updating and fixing it up as they go. That's what they did for Deepwoken. Verse 1, oh right, we took too long. I got too caught up yapping, bro. But bro, Deepwoken, verse 1, that was essentially just public testing, and then verse 2 is when you could really say Deepwoken began. They're gonna do the same fucking thing on Cursed Gear. I can actually damn near promise you that. I can almost promise you that's what's gonna happen. Also, is this bugged? I'm pretty sure it's all supposed to reset, and it just didn't. Something doesn't seem right here. Cursed Gear looks cool. It does look cool. It does look cool. It looks like an appealing game. That's the thing. It's not just JJK slop. If it was just fully JJK, I don't think it would really succeed because most people would just, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to go play JJS. It already exists. It's something in the middle. It's an original blend. And I think it's going to be wildly successful. And people are going to say, oh, it's not ready. It was made for closed community. It's not going to work with all these people on the game. Rogue was made for a closed community, and that fucking worked. Like, MOMAD is doing what they always do. And they're good at doing it, too. There's a difference between JJS and what would be deep type Cursed Gear. I'm talking about the player base. Yeah, those are fundamentally different games, but why would you go out of your way to learn a really difficult, really complex JJK game that has, like, inspired by curse techniques but not real curse techniques when you could just go play JJS or you could just go play Sorcery, right? Cursed Gear being a more organic blend of different, like, aesthetics and artistic choices, all of these things, it makes it more appealing. It makes it more palatable. Because if it is just a JJK game with super advanced combat, it's not going to appeal to a lot of people. If it's a different third thing with way more nuance, you could drag more people in. People would naturally be more excited about that. About Deep specifically? I mean, I'll answer any question. Swear Layer 2 is the K of Deepwoken? It's one of those things, bro, like... I think there are probably, like... Deepwoken is so popular it has fan spinoffs. What does that matter? In case you didn't notice, Deepwoken's been in a death spiral since 2025. Like, and in case you haven't noticed, man, the game that the spinoffs are based on is essentially in its deathbed. Alright, let's go fight. Best way to get Moon's Eyes, Parasol. Just kill everybody and then take the chest for yourself. I mean, yeah, but that's like, oh no, you're not pulling in people from any game because Steal a Brain Rot is too popular. I'm not really understanding what you're saying. You can rephrase that for me. You gotta have some hope, Doomer VR. Here's my hope. There are 2 scenarios. Now, there are 3 scenarios where I have hope. Number 1, CG comes out and actually, like, the devs just kind of say whatever. They're like, okay, you know, it was a closed community project. We had our fun. Let's make it public, and then we're never going to touch it again. You know, maybe, right? And all the main guys come back to Deepwoken and they kind of just do layer 3. Maybe. Path number 2. Cursed Gear comes out and it flops horrifically. And the devs never want to touch it again. And because of that, some of the developers move over to Deepwoken. Option number 3, CG does really well. And it has its own consistent dev team. And because of those vacancies, they allow Akamatsu to hire all new devs. And there's an all new deep team dedicated completely to Deepwoken and nothing else. And they sort of like take up the mantle and the game continues from there. Those are like the 3 like most positive outcomes for Deepwoken. Like, those are the 3 outcomes, or the 3 paths, in which I see Deepwoken succeeding. 1, CG is a total failure, and the devs give up on it, and they just play Deepwoken. 2, CG is really popular, and a lot of the devs move on, but because of that, they say, like, they wash their hands, they say, hey, man, Agamatsu, the game's in your hands, do what you gotta do, we get a whole new team, we go from there. Or, I mean, yeah, that's really, like, that's what we got. Damn, these things fucking me up. Where do I get temporal cruxes and all that shit? Just when I'm killing them, right? I don't think anyone's gonna want to play a game that requires 3 limbs to do stun M1s. You'd be shocked. CG is going to have more, like, it has more of a, like, a competitive ceiling than Deepwoken ever has. Also, I mean, it's going to be a macro simulator, which, hey, is Deepwoken, it's not that far off, right? CG is low-key going to be a bit of a macro simulator, but at this point, Deepwoken's damn near a macro simulator, or really an exploit simulator, right? You have auto parry and all the other nonsense. Yeah, the Warden macro, so... Warden macro versus faceless macro. It's like, dude. It's like, what can you do, right? What can you do? Because what all we're talking about layer 3, but there's so much shit that has to happen before layer 3. They need to do the hive origin, or really they need to flesh out all of the origins. Ceramide Hollow. Those are the big 2. And then I think everything else, like everything else in the roadmap, can kind of just get bundled into one, like divergences and ship modules. You can all bundle that together and just drop that with layer 3. And I think that works fine. But yeah, we need Ceramide Hollow, and we need... the Hive Origin. Life Weave would be nice, bro. Oh, dude, what about like a Bone Attunement? Can we get the Bone Attunement? Chef Oath, yeah, we need the Chef Oath. We need the Bone Attunement, bro. We need the Hive Origin. We need Life Weave. We need Ceramide Hollow. I would like them to do the PvP Luminant. I know Rag and Agamatsu had talked about it, like, dropping the PvP Luminant with Layer 3. And I don't know. I don't know, like, what plans they would have for it. So maybe, if they want it to be, like... Oh, what am I... No, you know what? The PvP Luminant coming out with Layer 3, I'm okay with that. What I would like to see is some form of PvP. Like, dare I say Conquest, bro. And we can get, like, Rogue Conquest in Deepwoken, just so we have something to play while we wait for these big updates. Just anything, bro. Yo, am I a chud? What am I doing? Throw me a bone! Just because JJK is the theme doesn't mean the fanbase will always choose JJS. Some people actually want a hard game. Okay. I mean, there are always the, like, outliers, or there's always that small minority looking for a difficult game. But that was always going to be one of the bigger appeals. Like, think of it this way. Shinobi Life versus Bloodlines. Yeah, people are always going to look for a harder game. That's why Bloodlines has an audience. But for the most part, if you're a fan of Naruto, you're not playing Bloodlines. You would just go play Shinobi Life because it's easier and you can have a lot of cool powers for really doing nothing, opposed to hard grinding. It is Roblox. You can't really compete with that. So if you just like, oh, if it comes down to a JJK game, and I want to use JJK powers and be Gojo or be Sukuna and like Aura Farm, for a lot of kids, bro, they're not going to want to play a really difficult game. But if you market it a little differently, like, hey, it's kind of like JJK, but it's more of an adventure, well, then you have a much better time marketing that as its own thing, instead of relying on the JJK name. Are there any plans to optimize Deep properly? Yeah, what a fucking pipe dream. Optimize Deep? Yeah, bro. JJK, but you're not the main character? Honestly, that could probably work to pull some people. Damn, I mean, okay, Bone Dust, cool, but I kind of needed, like, Temporal Crux and shit. Can you only hold one at a time? I already had one. Do these not stack? Oh, you're about to make me so pissed off. Oh, yo. And you can't bank it, so I can't even fucking fall. Oh! No, I'm actually really fucking pissed off. What? What? Huh. Why the fuck is that? That makes no fucking sense. Okay. And oh god, bro. Oh god. Hopefully this thing just fucking wipes me and puts me out of my misery. Come on, big boy. You can blood curdle him? That's funny. Dude, that move does so much. I kind of bugged him out a little bit there. What do we get? I mean, some Kyrsan gems and shit. That's cool. Can't bank any of this, so who cares? Is it a Valve Iron boss? No. Nope. Normal Pathfinder boss. What time is it? 11:04? Alright, I missed. Whatever world event would that be? I forgot. It's Parasol, right? Dan, be honest, do you think that this boss would be fun if you couldn't practice it in testing? There were a lot of ways you could practice it. A lot of people just didn't, like... I think a lot of people saw that there was a new boss and went in to fight it, like, one-on-one. When if you went with, like, 3 or 4 people and, like, oh, I'm low, swap out, you could easily beat it, like, first try. What are your thoughts about being able to get just, what is that, 75 HP from just rings now? It sounds really OP, but you do lose 50% of your healing, and in a ganking environment, you lose, like, you might as well not have a bloodless gem, right? You heal 1% per, like, bloodless tick. It's not worth. It's just not worth. Maybe it's worth it on Silent Heart, right? Because, I mean, it's Silent Heart. You can't bloodless anyways. You don't have mantras. But, like, otherwise, I'm actually still so pissed off by that. You can only have 1 ethereal bone dust. Okay, dude, sure. Well, regardless, we're here for temporal cruxes, because we need necrotic membranes. So, I guess it's not that big of a deal, right? Right? It's the best way to get astral? You know what? I don't know. What are you trying to craft? A couple things. So I'm gonna make Crown of the No-Life King, regenerative earrings, and the necrotic mask. Those are the 3 things that I'm making. I've got the parasol membranes, that's no problem. So I need to get the temporal crux for this shit. And I need trickster dust. That one's actually kind of difficult to get. Because Carnival's a little buggy, actually. Alright, we're not gonna LARP as hard. We're gonna try to get through this pretty quick. DNVR, what are your thoughts on being called the worst Marvel Rivals player of all time? Well, I'm Celestial 2, so if they can share screens and show me that they, right now this season, are higher than Celestial 2, I will listen to what they have to say. Otherwise, they're a LARPing chud, and they can kick rocks. Why are you forcing your voice? I'm like Lily Pichu in reverse, right? Instead of making my voice higher, I make it lower. Really, I sound like a squeaker, bro. I sound like a squeaker. You do get crowns. You actually get a lot of crowns from doing this, so that's cool. I wiped because of bugs. Hey, I mean, you get the restore. But now that we've moved past being a little bit doomer, what do you think Layer 3 will be? Aga said he wants it to be accessible to casuals, like easy to learn, hard to master kind of shit. Layer 3 is gonna, it's supposed to be massive, right? Layer 3 is supposed to be a bigger update than like Layer 2, right? And we've had conversations about it countless times where I'm like, obviously you need to add content. You need to add new things to go fight and weapons to make and obtain and all that shit. But the thing that's really going to be make or break for Layer 3, one, you need new areas to explore, and two, there needs to be a new level to build making, right? Because think about Layer 2 or Verse 2, right? The game didn't pop off and become as successful as it is because of this, right? Oh my god! This is so fun! Fighting the Bone Keeper and doing the same route every time? No. Right? The dungeon itself is not what made Verse 2 so successful. It was the build rework. How they changed the way power works and the new oaths and the shrines and order and all of that. That additional layer to build making is why the game became so fun. Because it essentially revamped everything. Every piece of content you had already done, so fighting all of the bosses, all of the areas, all of the PvP, you could now re-experience it because your build is so vastly different. They need to add another layer to build making, whether that be like, I don't know, Oath Evolution, Bell Evolution, Mantra Evolution, or all kinds of different ideas. Whatever it may be, that is what's going to carry Deepwoken into, like, a new golden age, right? It has to have, like, new content and systems that change the way you make builds. Builds are the way in which you interact with the world. It's like your stylus. It's your pencil. Okay? So everything in the game, everything in the world, the PvE, the PvP, everything is entirely dependent on what build you are currently using. So if you add all new ways to make builds and you add a whole new dimension to builds, well, now the way you play everything in the game has once again changed, and it can be like replayed and rediscovered, and that's the goal. That's what it means. Like, we need like fucking 20 attunements. We need like 20 different attunements, man, or something crazy. They have ideas. They have good ideas. Obviously, I can't tell you, so I can tell you that much, right? The Deepwoken classic. If, when, but, you know, potential game. I can't tell you the ideas. I can just tell you they are cool. Like, DNVR approved. They sound fun as fuck. I can also tell you Rag is actually really interested in Layer 3. Raguzer is actually really excited for Layer 3. I know a lot of people stake value in Raguzer. They feel as though, like, if Raguzer's making an update or if Raguzer thinks it's cool, then it will be. So, you know, there you go. He seems to be very excited for layer 3. Is he interested in finishing the last memento? I might keep it a bug, man. He's busy getting CG ready to release. I mean, it releases in what? It releases on Friday. Cursed Gear comes out this Friday. I know, because a lot of people didn't, like, they're not in the CG server, so they missed that announcement. The game comes out on Friday. This Friday. So, yeah, what that whole, like, tirade I went on Cursed Gear, yeah, that wasn't like, oh, way off in the far future. No, that's in 4 days. That's in 4 days. They need to add more vanity and more decorations. Yes, bro. I made a whole fucking, like, paragraph suggestion in the Deepwoken server. I don't know, because apparently if you weren't already in this chat, it's, like, closed now. You can't witness it. Let me see. Where is it? I think it's in art. For... I think it's contest submission. Yes! Apparently, you can't see this server if you weren't, or you can't see this channel unless you were, like, in here while they were doing an event. But, like, bro. Okay, there's no pinned messages. If you go up far enough, you go back to, like, the drip contest they did. Yes, here we are. Bro! All of this shit is a lot of this stuff is cool as fuck. It's already modeled. It's already ready to go. Put this shit in the game, dude. It's already here for the taking. Add this shit to the game, bro. This shit is tough. Your community would love to make this shit for you. You fucking, like, use the community, bro. They would love to add drip to the game, bro. Add this shit. A lot of it, like I said, is already fucking modeled in Roblox. Just add it. Not only do you need to add more drip, there needs to be vanity slots. That was something that Arcane Adventures and Arcane Odyssey has that I think is really cool. Like, you have your actual, like, equipment that gives your stats, and then you can, like, click a button here, and then it's your vanity slots. So you could have, like, 2 arm pieces, and 2 boots, and 2 capes, and 2 hats. And that way you can make really cool drip, but you're only getting stats from, like, the one item you pick. Adding vanity slots would do nothing to, like, fuck up the game. It would just make... Because people love making drip, right? That's genuinely one of the big things people do on Deepwoken. They do, like, drip and cosplay. So do that, bro. People love making cosplay builds. Make the fucking vanity slots. Add new drip and shit to the game. A lot of which is already modeled and already ready to go. You just do a quick, like, malicious code check. Maybe, you know, give the creator a little bit of money. Or even better, you can just give them shit in-game. I think most, like, Deepwoken creators would be fine if you gave them, like, a special in-game race or reward or something. Or, like, I don't know, give them a custom title. I think most people would be fine with the title, too. Because that's how they got the like, Maestro fit, like, the robes. I'm pretty sure that was a fan submission from that contest that I was just scrolling through. Pretty sure that's what it was. Oh, true, yeah. The Abyss, the, like, crazy armor kit. That was another one. That was a fan submission. Yes, bro. Take advantage of that shit. There's a lot of cool-ass shit in the community. Put it in the game. Give them a reward, and then you're good. You don't have to, like, make them part of the dev team and pay them, like, $1,000 fucking every day. Acknowledge them. This is bugged. Yeah, this game's a joke. Acknowledge them. Say thank you. Give them a reward. You know, make them feel seen and heard and appreciated. And I think for most players, that's enough. They wouldn't want much else. You don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to do that. Say like, yeah, here's 50 free race rerolls. Thank you for, like, you know, supporting the game, and you know, you're a real goat. Here, we're gonna even put you in the contributors page. Like, yeah, this armor piece, it was made by blah 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 in the community. That's all you gotta do. It's all you gotta do. Alright, I really need him to, like, drop an item or something. I can't kill Ferryman. Should I cry? Oh, yeah. I want you to fucking, like, open mouth scream cry. Can't beat Ferryman. Yeah, I rebuke you. I rebuke you. When you push in 40, will you play Deepwoken? Yeah, dude. I'm gonna have Dan VR Jr. And we're gonna do a duo Voidwalker prog. It'll be beautiful. Can he die? Why is blood purple and then the blood weapons are red? Yeah, I mean, that's probably... It is a bit of a weird inconsistency, but that's not something that, like, the devs... It was Roblox that, like, kind of made that change, like, a requirement. So, a Conga's clutch ring. Dude, yes. Yes, bro. Chaser's blood is still red. Yeah, there are some inconsistencies in how that system works. I'm not gonna nitpick it, bruh. Did Roblox force Deepwoken specifically to make that change? Other games have it. I would have to look at what the maturity rating for those games are. You can have blood if you make the game PG-13. And I'm pretty sure that that Deepwoken is, like, below that. I think Deepwoken's, like, any age can play, like, E for everyone. And then the games that do have red blood are PG-13 plus rated. What 9-year-old is playing Deep? They had gone over the stats. I think Aga had said it was like 1,000 players are under the age of 13. And I feel the devs, or probably Archmage, would feel shitty if, like, one of those kids woke up one day and it said, like, hey, like, sorry, the game's PG-13. I know you bought the game and you put, like, 1,000 hours in, but you can't play anymore. Sorry. Wait for your birthday. You know. Also, we are in the overworld right now because I want to do Carnival of Hearts. Need that trickster dust. Maturity says moderate now. Does that count? I don't know. Maybe they can do red blood. I don't know. Damn. That was some solid yap right there. That was some good-ass yap. I didn't have music on or anything for an hour and 6 minutes. Yo, I'm tough. Also, I'm trying to, like, learn the PvP. Become a Godseeker Demon. So, those who know. We're all just that entertaining. When is the Salami training stream? Probably tomorrow, if he's free. We talked about it today, but I was busy, and then he had to leave. He had to leave and go do stuff. I low-key have been like learning how to be better with light weapon, but I haven't used this build yet. Like post summary training. Oh, I see the problem now. We're in a Washington. Oh my god. Yo, he's tough, bro. Oh my god! I can't touch this guy. Yo, I'm trash. Oh! Yo, you're a chud! Yo, I'm blaming this on lag, bro. I'm blaming this on lag. I'm blaming it on lag, bro. Your build does no posture? Yeah, you're not wrong. Straight to the excuses. What else are you supposed to do in Deepwoken? You know we love to cope around here. Oh, in Illinois. Maybe I can redeem myself. Hey, never mind. He's dual guns. Yeah, why don't you let me borrow one of those guns so I can put it in the roof of my mouth and yeah, never mind, bro. Never mind. This isn't the blood build. The blood build's still in Etheron. We're taking a quick detour because it's carnival in 5 minutes. Now the good thing is that most of these like gun builds all play the same. They just swing through legit everything because they obviously want to get their M1s out. This is low-key, like, I use this build to practice some of my, like, shaky block combos, right? And then the blood build is more, like, mental training, right? Getting better at, like, reading people's moves and, like, not panicking. See? I didn't do that bad. I did pretty good that time. You mentioned shaky block, I flinched like an abused dog. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was coaching me on stream and then he commented on my last video. Bro, W man. Fuck, I'll have to go through the comment and like find his username. But he was training me up. Cheese man. Actually, Cheese man, after we do this, we're gonna do this Carnival of Hearts. I'm gonna go finish Etheron. And then after that, I think we're gonna stream Rivals. You know, it's been a little bit. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of little Rivals action, bro. Maybe we'll do a little bit of Chime. We'll get to like 1.1k elo. Then you rage quit. I can drop you a Crux if you need one. Thank you, Leaf. Thank you. And also, yo, the Rivals stream squad is here. What's up, homies? How the fuck do I have fun playing this game? Are you still gonna stream with Salami? Yeah. Well, probably not tonight. No, definitely not tonight. But yeah, I'm still gonna work with. I think Salami is next up, bro. I think, bro, Salami, he's gonna do numbers. If Deepwoken does succeed and have like a second golden age, I think Salami's gonna be there, bro. He's gonna be up. Where's IRL Deepwoken progging stream? Maybe. You know what? I actually have a pretty funny idea of what could be like a Deepwoken, like IRL progging a build. Oh. Yeah, but I would low-key... I have a pretty funny video idea, but that would low-key just be like... That would just be like a humiliation ritual. It would be... Rooting through his paper clips. Yup. Chewing on them like cereal. Going to the gym to train strength and fortitude. It would kind of just be a humiliation ritual. Oh my god, it's Davik. It's Dravik! What you doing, man? What the fuck? But, the first part, right? Prog video. I'm gonna get my drip right. So I'll probably just go to like a thrift store or like a Salvation Army and just put on like the most ridiculous, like retarded ass outfit imaginable. And then, yeah, we gotta train strength and fortitude, so we're going to the gym. And then after that, we train charisma. So I would go to the bar and I would just probably hit like charisma lines on random bitches. I've done that before. It's kind of funny. And then... that's really it. I mean, what do I do? Ganking segment where I just go like attack somebody in the street? That's really all we got. This is how you meet a Deepwoken girl? Oh, hell no. Oh! 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 Please, please. You don't have to oh my god. So I start getting ganked in the stands, and then I get immediately exploded. Should I Uber from DoorDash or Uber Eats? How about you walk your ass down there, fatty? It's like $40. Dude, getting DoorDash, it's like... then the moment you feel good, then the moment you hit confirm order, just instant dread washes through your body. It's the worst fucking feeling on earth. Because you'd be dropping $50 on like some cold McDonald's. It's actually horrific. Suffocation or haunted? I'm gonna run Green Gale till the day I die. Till my bones decay, I'm running Green Gale. Oh, Jesus, bro. Here we go. Seeing that 38.45 leave my account, real shit. It's heartbreaking. A stone heart? Shocked to see somebody using that. Oh. Oh! Oh! It begins, bro. It begins. Bro. Oh! He saved my life! He saved my life! He knocked me out of the way. Wait, that is the guy from Chime. I think I'm safe right here. I think this is my ticket to ride. Let me get cold, bruh. Yeah. Oh no, I'm kind of. Oh, I'm kind of clipped into the wall. Hold on, hold on. Yeah. Wait, is that tough as nuts or what? What are you looking at, Neil? You want to bite? Fuck up at. Oh! Hey. Bro. This minigame is so ass, bro. Oh, I thought that was it. Thought my screen just got busted clean on. Oh. Oh. I thought I was tough, bro. I thought I was tough. Drunk dad trip? Y'all are ruthless, man. How many people are left, even? Oh! Oh, God. What the fuck, bro? It's just like I'm disassociating. This is so lame. Oh my god. Don't start with me, boy. Pull a block. I can't pull my weapon out. No, I didn't get glitched out yet, so I can't get out my weapon. Riveting gameplay? I know, this is incredible. Let's just... yeah, let's just turn that down. Oh my god, bro. I hate the chuds on this game. Stop venting, bro. Stop venting. Yeah, there's no reason this has to be so long. We're genuinely all just... You don't even do anything. You just stand here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yep. Yep. It's enough of that. It's enough of that. We're done. We're done. Well, guys, I'm going to be streaming Marvel Rivals if you want to meet me over there. That's enough Deepwoken for tonight. I